I thought people came to our work to heal, to create abundance, to get a new job, to have a new relationship, to have a mystical experience. I really thought that. Those were the reasons that they thought they came. But really, what they're really coming for is wholeness. Because when you're whole, it's really hard to want. And you could only want when you're in lack or you're in separation. And we actually create from lack. We actually create from separation. If you see something that you don't have, that someone else has, and you're aware now that it exists, and you say, I want that, the lack of not having it actually inspires you to create and get it, right? So we create from lack and separation. And so if people are spending their whole time in their life working really hard to get the things that they want, behaving differently so they can get that thing, and then when the novelty wears off from that thing, here comes that feeling again of lack and separation. And we reach a point in our life, for many people, where nothing's making that feeling go away. And that's a really important moment in life where you start realizing, oh my God, I got to wake up, because there's never going to be something that does it out there. And God, I have sat with billionaires, and more than one, and they have leaned over and said to me, we are miserable. We are in agony. We can't even enjoy a sunset, because money has nothing, or success has nothing to do with genuine, authentic joy. And mastering yourself, overcoming yourself in so many ways creates so much wholeness and order in the nervous system. So much wholeness that you don't want anything anymore. And that's a great moment when you feel so whole that you no longer want. That's the moment you're free. I think that's the moment you really feel free. So it is deeper than that.
Yeah.
I think there's an intrinsic, innate quality for us to remember something deeper and more profound in us. And I think when people have that full-on sensory internal experience, that moment of connection, that overcoming, that arousal, that whatever that is, that connection or union, I think when they feel these elevated states, they stop looking outside of it, outside of themselves for it. They start looking within, and I think that's a really great moment. And I don't know how deep that rabbit hole goes, but I know that there's always more love to feel when we do that.
Change involves thinking, acting, and feeling differently while in the same environment, doing it consistently enough to alter that environment because you're evolving. Nothing in your life changes until you do. Many people enter meditation seeking transformation, and when they leave, the energy and spirit of change is palpable and contagious. Our research shows that people influence one another. Kindness begets kindness. Love inspires love, and care encourages care. This is the emergence of a collective consciousness. The goal is to maintain that feeling of transformation after meditation. You must recall that feeling repeatedly until you can summon it on your own, because no one else can provide it for you. Whether it takes 1, 2, or 3 hours, the effort is worth it. The greatest progress often comes when it's most challenging. Common excuses lead us back to mediocrity, such as believing we need specific events or environments to change. True believers in the quantum model know that a collective consciousness is accessible daily without needing a specific setting. Taking time for yourself each day is a service to the world. Engage in meditation without devices or distractions, preparing your mind beforehand. Focus on what you will and won't think about and how you'll handle distractions. This preparation allows you to immerse fully in the practice, becoming more aware of your thoughts and actions, and avoiding unconscious behaviors like complaining or judging. Embrace your true self through this mindful approach. When we are in that emotional state that drags us back into unconscious habits, we revert to our old selves. This feeling ties us to the past, and we end up thinking and acting as if we're still there. We need to break this cycle and focus on reprogramming our minds to create new beliefs. By setting clear intentions and concentrating on them, we can train our minds through repetition. To make lasting change, we must remind ourselves of the choices we want to make, even if they're difficult. By rehearsing these choices, we're preparing our brains to act as if we've already made them. During meditation, we should cultivate love for our future and repeatedly bring up that feeling until it becomes second nature. This is the essence of the work. It's crucial to dedicate time to ourselves, stepping away from our daily lives to facilitate change. This disconnection allows us to reconnect more deeply. If someone finishes their meditation feeling less optimistic about their future, it means they haven't fully overcome their ingrained habits and beliefs. However, those who truly engage in this process end up believing more in their future when they finish. When we fall back into old patterns, we have two options: stay there and find others who share the same negative outlook, or break free and reconnect with our future aspirations. The latter requires recognizing that there's never a perfect moment to change, especially when it's most challenging. Events and practices serve as preparation for becoming a new person. By the time we return to our regular lives, we've transformed, catching ourselves before slipping into unconscious habits. The key is to persistently practice until we no longer forget and start remembering our true goals and intentions. This is the moment where real change happens. I want to emphasize that getting 2,000 people to reach a unified state of mind and body is no small feat. It requires many words, numerous opportunities to practice, and a lot of effort to overcome personal barriers. We aim to equip people with tools they can use in their everyday lives, making the process less daunting when pursued with passion and intent on their own. This dedication benefits not only the individual, but also everyone around them. While it may seem easier to achieve this in a group setting, the real magic happens when you commit to the practice with the same enthusiasm you bring to anything important in your life. This personal commitment transforms the experience, making it deeply enjoyable and fulfilling. Some may dismiss this work as mere faith healing, and I'm okay with that. Faith is about believing in a thought beyond the current circumstances and living as if our goals have already been achieved. This approach mirrors the concept of the placebo effect, where belief itself brings about change. True transformation occurs when we rise from our meditations, acting as though our prayers have been answered. Doing this consistently puts us in a mindset where we are open to the unknown and ready for unexpected miracles. The placebo response demonstrates the power of thought alone to heal. However, for a thought to manifest, it must be embraced with emotion. When a thought is infused with emotion, it transitions into reality. A thought without emotion remains dormant, waiting to be brought to life. By turning thoughts into experiences and then into wisdom, we evolve. When you look in the mirror, you see your physical self, but your life reflects your true self, your consciousness, and your inner being. There are no secret schools on mountaintops waiting to teach us ancient spiritual wisdom. Our daily lives are our initiation into greatness. Perhaps we should view life as a journey to continually reach higher levels of self-awareness, enabling us to surpass our limitations through expanded consciousness. This perspective is pragmatic rather than victimizing. Embracing new paradigms and letting go of familiar thought patterns initially feels unnatural and requires effort. This discomfort arises because change challenges our sense of identity. To me, true genius lies in being comfortable with discomfort. Throughout history, many individuals who defied outdated norms and stepped out of their comfort zones were initially seen as heretics and fools. Over time, they were recognized as geniuses, saints, or masters. They transcended the ordinary and became extraordinary. To achieve the extraordinary ourselves, we must start doing what feels unnatural. This means giving during times of crisis, loving amidst anger, showing courage and peace in the face of fear, demonstrating kindness when confronted with hostility, and embracing possibilities instead of competing aggressively. It involves smiling through adversity and fostering a sense of wholeness even when facing illness. Making these choices may seem unnatural in difficult circumstances, but if we persist, we can transcend the norm and become extraordinary. Importantly, by becoming extraordinary, we inspire others to do the same. Mirror neurons in our brains activate when we observe others performing actions, as if we were performing those actions ourselves. Watching a professional dancer can improve our own dance skills. Observing Serena Williams play tennis can enhance our own game. Seeing someone lead with love and compassion can influence us to lead similarly. Witnessing someone heal themselves through changing their thought processes can encourage us to do the same. Ultimately, the most important belief is in ourselves and in the infinite possibilities of life. By merging our belief in our subjective consciousness with belief in an objective consciousness, we balance intention and surrender, paving the way for extraordinary transformations. From my experiences witnessing true healings worldwide, I've seen people achieve such completeness that they stop feeling lack and cease trying to control the process. They let go, and something greater responds, often to their surprise and delight. I'll be the first to admit I don't know everything, but my greatest joy comes from contributing to someone's personal growth. Transformation transcends culture, race, or gender. When freed from self-limiting beliefs, we all share the same look of liberation. I admire the principle of emergence in biology. Have you seen a school of fish or a flock of birds move in perfect unison? It appears they follow a leader, but in reality, their synchronicity is a bottom-up phenomenon. There is no single leader. Instead, each individual is part of a collective consciousness, acting as one mind. This unity transcends space and time, creating a powerful collective organism. There's strength in numbers. We've been conditioned to believe that leading with too much passion and aiming to change the world invites danger. Many great leaders who profoundly impacted history faced tragic ends. Nonetheless, their legacy teaches us the immense potential of collective action and the transformative power of unity. Whether we're discussing figures like Martin Luther King Jr., Mahatma Gandhi, John Lennon, Joan of Arc, William Wallace, Jesus of Nazareth, or Abraham Lincoln, there's a persistent belief that visionary leaders must sacrifice their lives for the truth. However, perhaps we've reached a point in history where living for the truth is more crucial than dying for it. If hundreds, thousands, or even millions of people embrace a new consciousness based on possibility, align their actions with their intentions, and live by universal principles of love, kindness, and compassion, a new consciousness will emerge, leading to true unity. With enough leaders embodying this new consciousness, we might create a world where there are too many to suppress. If each day you're committed to being your best and overcoming selfish, stress-driven states of mind, and I'm doing the same, then together we're transforming the world by transforming ourselves. As more individuals become whole, the communities they form will gradually overshadow the current mindset of fear, competition, scarcity, hostility, greed, and deception. In time, the old mindset will be entirely replaced by the new. One of my concerns is that scientific research is often influenced by self-interest and profit, making it hard to discern the truth. It's up to us to seek the truth ourselves. Imagine a world where billions of people live like a school of fish, moving as one, embracing uplifting thoughts connected to limitless possibilities. These thoughts would inspire people to make better choices, demonstrate altruism, and create enlightening experiences. People would no longer be driven by survival-based emotions that make us feel like isolated matter. Instead, they would live with expanded, selfless, heartfelt emotions, feeling more like energy, connected to something greater. If we could achieve this, a completely different world would emerge, guided by an open-hearted credo. That's the vision I see when I close my eyes to meditate.